Oh shit, I have a bag of Milky Way.
Ah!
Welcome everyone to this pre-recorded intro of the main broadcast. It is episode 11. I am your host, Alex Rogers, and I am with Adam, Peter, and Dan. I have to whisper.
Why are you whispering?
Okay, so I'm in my hostel. I'm in the lunch area, and everyone's looking at me because I just did the intro.
Just wait.
So,
Just wait a minute.
I am. Everyone should subscribe to the main cast. For those who can understand English, should subscribe to the main cast.
Oh, they don't speak English, so they probably just think you're speaking gibberish.
No, but they probably think I look professional because I have like audio waves and Discord in front of me, and I'm holding a microphone up to my face.
Oh, it's not in the shoe this time? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not in my shoe. I don't have a shoe on the table.
Yeah, I had a slight image in my mind where it was,
and like there's like jazz music playing.
I have heard that come through a couple of times.
I don't like that guy
relaxing
at all. Whoever's idea was that, fuck that dude.
Now I have a question for you guys. We're halfway through 2024. Do you guys have any half year resolutions?
I can't believe we're halfway through the year.
I know, how gross is that?
Yeah.
Don't build a house.
That's not a resolution. That's just a thing. No, it's just life advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, resolutions are kind of like life advice, aren't they?
A resolution, like a New Year's resolution. See, if you would have
we're
like,
not New Year's yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're halfway through the year. What's your half year resolution?
Don't buy a house or don't build a house.
I don't think.
So you'd go back and
You mean another
what
one?
you did?
Another one?
Yeah, I think so.
Now for me,
it's a lot of money to have in one basket. That's not full.
Dan, what's your half year resolution? Go on.
Mine's just been like to go and see more like live music and stuff. Right,
You are doing that a lot more. I have noticed. You are going out a lot more to see music, which is pretty cool.
At the detriment of his own health.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
but it's worth it.
Is it though? Because when I want to play games, Dan's nowhere to be found.
So it's worth it for Dan. It's not worth it for you.
Die? Yeah, outside's where people die.
Adam, what's your half year resolution? Go on.
Mine has been watching more real TV and watching less YouTube.
That's good.
That's fair. Is it working?
Yeah, that's fair.
I've watched a ton of movies and I've been catching up on all the anime that I've missed out on.
Have you watched Boy Kills World?
The movie?
Yeah.
No, but I heard it was pretty good. I instead want to watch Taro instead, a movie with 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, Taro. Yeah, I watched that. I liked it. I didn't like the ending as much.
I thought it was silly, but genuinely kind of creepy. Because they kept changing what the monster looked like, so they could do effective jump scares each time.
Now that's a clever way to do that. That's really smart.
Because once you saw the monster, it wasn't a high-budget movie, so it looked bad. But they did get you with one jump scare when you first saw it.
See, that's what I like with Shapeshifter. You know, like how in like horror movies where they're just like, it's a demon from another world and it can take on any shape or form, but it can't really, and it takes on like one form, and then it takes on like just like this weird monster with tentacles that move around.
Well, normally it takes the form of the biggest actor they could get to play the role. That's the form the Shapeshifter takes.
Yeah.
But because I've been watching more anime, I came up with a topic I thought I was thinking of, which is we can go back to our roots when we talk about anime. We've talked before about what's the best and what's our favorite, but I was thinking if you had someone who doesn't watch anime but is thinking about getting into it, and you want to hook them on anime, what do you show them? What's the show that you say, watch this one?
Now, it depends on the person, but normally I actually recommend
just a generic person.
I recommend Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
FMA is always so good.
That's always what my gut says, but I feel like it's too long.
It's a little too good as well at some points.
Do movies count?
No, not movies, shows.
Has to be a TV show. I would recommend. Oh God,
again, because Death Note is too long and the ending sucks, so you can't recommend that.
Yeah.
I also haven't seen Death Note, so I don't know.
It's hard to recommend something that hasn't finished.
Maybe Mob Psycho. I might recommend Mob Psycho.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There's shows like Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. I think you need to have some exposure to anime to really appreciate why they're good.
True, because they're kind of a gimmick
they
on
sort of
the
take
anime.
tropes and flip them on their heads. So if you don't know the tropes, they don't have the same impact.
I mean, you'd want to watch one of the big three first.
The big three, no, they're too long. They're way too long.
True. Maybe Noragami? Maybe, but then it's not finished. Yeah, but it's not finished.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. If we're going by the not finished rule, my brain puts together and says My Hero, because I think it's accessible for someone who's not really into anime because it's like super Western inspired.
Yeah, very true. Very
But it
true.
hasn't finished, and these last couple seasons have been weaker, so the ending might not.
Okay, I'm just looking at the My Anime list now, like the top anime. Apparently, Sister of Freyrin has kicked Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's
It
been a big
has,
thing.
and I don't get it. I don't get
it's
why.
good.
It's good, but it's
good.
boring. Not a lot happens in it. Demon Slayer.
That's a very
Yeah.
popular one. That's like one of the most like
Again,
yeah,
it hasn't finished. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. What about
Chainsaw Man.
Jesus Christ?
Do JC's favorite anime, the Maid War one.
Maid War?
Wars is great. Yeah. Hang on a sec. Let me plug the
Shout
actual
out to
title.
JC.
How about? No, not Maid War. Fuck that. That looks ridiculous.
Hi JC. See, this is
It
how
is.
we know if she
It's
listens
over
or
the
not.
top. Akiba Maid War. Yeah.
Again, but with
It
anime,
is very full on for a
with anime,
first
everyone's
anime,
trying to
though.
do their own thing. Everyone's trying to do their own thing, and now since there's so many anime, everyone's trying to go a bit over the top. So, a new anime is kind of hard to like recommend to someone because they would have
What
to be
about
watching it for a
Ari
while.
Life?
Never seen it, so I don't know.
Oh,
Never
What
seen
about
it?
Parasite?
yes. That's it. That'd be it.
I think Ari Life is it's funny. It's got an adult cast, so you sort of get that side in it where it's not just kids.
that's a good.
The only thing
that's
the
a
only
real
thing it
good-
doesn't have is action.
No, I reckon it's a good taste. Like it's a good dip. I think.
I think I'm gonna stick with My Hero, even though it hasn't finished.
If it, the real one I'd want to do is a movie, and it's Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. What about Cowboy Bebop? Is it too much?
I've never seen it, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
I think I watched most of it, but I didn't end up finishing it. I think.
Or Parasite. Is Parasite too much?
Oh, Parasite! I forgot.
Parasite.
How could I
Parasite.
forget
Parasite
about
might be the
Parasite?
one. Actually. I think you've nailed it with Parasite.
Oh, how could I forget about Parasite? That's one of my favorite ones ever.
Yeah. No, I think you got it. Because Parasite is like, it's got really good action, it's got a really good story, it's not too long. It's not too... It's a bit weird.
But hey,
Crazy
animes,
weird.
there's weirder
Yeah,
anime
like it-
out there.
Yeah, like it
That's
dips,
it, it is
it dips his
weird.
toes in weird.
Yeah, it very much dips its toes in weird.
How could I forget about Parasite?
Yeah. It has the high school protagonist, which a lot of other animes do have, without being too focused on being a high school anime, which could put people off.
Here's my thing though, Adam. Our first anime that we pretty much watched together was Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, and that was just like super gimmicky, and the quality wasn't great, but we still managed to watch anime otherwise.
Yeah, but I think it would, even though it got us into it, it would put a lot of other people off.
Yeah, true, but maybe because we
I think
also played the game a lot more. That
And
we
I
were
think
just
we
like,
would just, it's just sort of the sort of medium that we're into. If
That
it's
is
something
true.
that you're kind of on the edge of, you could be, you could not be. I think something like Dragon Ball or Yu-Gi-Oh! Would really put you off of it.
yeah, because we watched Pokemon a lot, like heaps. We
No,
watched that.
we actually watched Digimon.
And we watched
before
Digimon.
We watched Dragon
Pokemon.
Ball.
True. Yeah, we watched Digimon. See, Digimon was
Yeah.
great. We need to talk about how good Digimon is. Digimon is fucking amazing. Such a good show.
No, Digimon
fir-
Season 3 is amazing. Digimon
Digimon
season
season-
1 and 2 are
Oh, great.
fine.
you can't say that they're not good. Otherwise, they would not have been going on with spin-offs for this long.
They are good for children.
Yes.
As an adult, I don't know.
I mean, I watched Digimon Season 2 recently, and I actually can say it's
Why?
okay, fairly good. Why not?
Why would you rewatch
Why the
it?
fuck not?
Let it exist in your memory as it is. Don't taint it. It's
Yeah,
not going
it's
to be
true.
good if you go back to it.
No, that's fair.
That's why.
fair
That's
call,
why I'll
actually.
never watch Tamers again because it's perfect.
Tamers is
wanna go
good.
back. I don't want to go back and it not be as good as I remember because it's perfect.
I mean, very rarely do I like watch a good show that I wanted when I was a child. Like watch a good show and then I go back to it and I rewatch it and I'm like, man, this fucking sucked. Now, like very rarely do I get that. Normally, it's like, oh, this show was good and I've rewatched it, and yeah, it's childish, but it's still enjoyable. You know, it's very rare. I'm just like, now this show fucking sucks. Why'd I do that? You know.
Yeah. Does anyone else have a show that they watched as a kid and they loved
Yeah, I
and
was
they
gonna-
watched as an adult and they hated?
I was gonna say the other two have gotten very
Zoids.
quiet. Zoids.
Yeah.
Zoids.
Zoids.
Wasn't it Zords? Or was it actually
Zoids.
Zoids?
Pretty sure it was Zoids.
Zoids. I have 2 DVDs of Zoids.
Yeah.
Zoids.
Fucking awesome show.
Try rewatching.
Again, I'm not gonna rewatch it because that's one of the shows I'm happy to not rewatch because I know that's gonna
I
suck.
tried rewatching it because I thought it was a banger. It hasn't aged well.
Did either of you two watch Bakugan as a kid?
All the fucking time, dude.
That was the jam.
Bakugan.
I know you did. I know you did. That's what I was like. I feel like we were too old
Beyblades?
for Bakugan. All right, Beyblades is mad. Beyblades is so good. Dragoon.
Why were all the English versions of the opening song so much cooler than the Japanese versions?
I don't know. I think it's because pop punk was in, and so they just did pop punk covers of all the anime songs.
I am a punk pop kid.
I'm sorry. I was
To
gonna
be
say,
fair.
what do you mean? What do you mean was in? It's still in. All right.
No,
it
it's
never
not.
dies.
Not in mainstream. Not in mainstream.
No, not a mainstream.
It was in mainstream.
Are you telling me that no one's listening to Busted right now?
No one's listening
Go
to
on.
Busted right now.
I am. I've got it on my
Yeah,
phone.
Yeah,
You're
but
not.
you're not normal.
Fuck you,
We're
dude.
You are a
talking
bit
about
strange.
the normies.
You use words like delicious.
What do you mean? Surely
You're
someone
the
else
only
uses
person
the
I
word.
know who uses delicious. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Like if I go through the top new rappers of 2023, I don't know any of them.
Let's have a look. Can you read the names out for me? Can you butcher them?
Lola Brooke,
Don't know who that is.
Lil Baby,
Nope.
21 Savage,
I know who that is.
I've heard of that.
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP
yeah.
Rocky.
He's married to Rihanna.
Oh, here you go. 11 rappers set to make it big in 2023. Let's have a look. Okay, well, one has a normal name. Ben Riley. Oh, it's making me subscribe to Rolling Stone. I'm not doing that.
I have a feeling Dan's dead. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh, no. We've
He's
killed
fallen
him
asleep.
in your anger.
He's fallen asleep.
We killed him.
He's out.
He's gonna give me such a long recording. Oh no.
I mean, it's only going to be half an hour at this point.
Oh my fucking god. Let me get one thing straight with you two. Stop letting me let these recordings go for an hour. Like, these recordings cannot go longer than an hour for 2 reasons. One, the editing process of it kills my computer. Like, it fries it because I have to cut a lot. And 2, it takes like a week just to edit it.
Well, then we've
It's-
only got 20 minutes left before we hit that mark.
Yeah.
Did you want to put that thing in the chat then, Alex? That you wanted to
Yeah.
show?
I'm back.
Hey Dan,
Hey.
what happened? You right, Dan?
Yeah, Grandad stopped by.
Oh, lovely.
Phone troubles.
Very nice. Love that. That's
Right,
great.
you're going to get some weird noises in the audio file, Alex. I just opened a bag of chocolate bullets.
A bag of Milky Ways?
I got a bag of Milky Ways!
You've got the same mic filter on that he had as well. It's great.
Yeah, it's perfect. Can you do it? Can you say it?
I got a bag of Milky Ways!
So we all know that Adam loves to mess with his audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since he put like a filter on, he said he fixed his audio. The audio process fried his file sometimes, and then when when he would speak like little noises like giggle or say yeah, it would make like a computerized noise. And for the hour that I was listening to his audio, every time he had like a little blip in his file, I would separate it and cut it all together, and now I have a 20-minute little 20-second little file for you.
Say how much of my audio is me just saying yeah.
You'd be surprised how many times we say yeah and giggle. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. I appreciate it.
That was very funny.
That's a short baby.
I think this is it.
That's a big curse.
Why do I sound like a goat?
I don't know.
At what
You
point
tell
did
me.
I go, meh?
I know, but somehow you managed to do it.
I feel like it's just better that you just send the raw audio to Alex, and then after he's cut it, use the AI on it.
He did a very good job. He did a very, very good job in fixing his audio. And if he keeps doing it, I'm fine with it, because I can just keep cutting all those together. And my idea is to cut all of those together, all of them. And I'm talking like over the span of like 20, 25 episodes. Cut them all together and then release them on the channel and call it the best of the main broadcast.
And it's just bang, where me?
That's how the audios of the villages in Minecraft were created.
Yeah, pretty much. It's great. It just sounded like you were a robot. You didn't sound real. It was really funny.
I was gonna say, I have one last topic, I guess, if you wanted to keep it under an hour.
No, that's fine. We can keep it under an hour. That's fine. It's just when we go for an hour and 40 minutes, I wanted to shoot myself. It was ridiculous. But yeah, go on.
So I have a topic that I have done no research on, because what would be the fun in that? But something that I don't really understand, and it's one of those phenomenons where you hear about it your whole life and you just accept it, and then when you stop and think about it, it makes you wonder: is what I've been taught true? Because this doesn't make sense. And that is the Great Wall of China.
Oh boy.
What about the Great Wall of China?
Well, the fact that it took 2,500
small.
years to make.
Is that true?
Yes. That's one of the few things I know about it. It took 2,500 years to build, so what's the point?
Well, wasn't to stop like some invasion or something initially?
That's what I've heard. Well, that's what I've heard. It was to stop an invasion. The only knowledge I have from of the Great Wall of China comes from South Park. So, according to South Park, it was to keep the Mongolians out.
The who? The who?
The Mongolians.
No, say it properly. You learned from South Park. Don't actually do it, because I don't feel like cutting it out.
But if it was to keep the Mongolians out, you can't come up with an idea that's going to work in 2.5 millennium. That's just not. That's a bad idea. Because what's going to happen is they're gonna for over 2,000 years they can just walk around it, and they're gonna just do that while you're finishing it, and then invade you anyway. The people who probably finished it were the invaders they were trying to keep out. It took them that long to do it.
Well, weren't the like Mongolians like nomadic?
The who?
So like they'd like travel around and stuff, and like raid and whatnot.
Yeah,
So like they'd send raiding parties to like China and stuff. So like
they were. I just don't know
it.
that. I just don't know that taking 2,000 years to build a wall is going to stop anyone. Because if you think about, the sort of things we have, we can't even agree as a society that magic didn't exist 2,500 years ago. How are you going to have plans to build a wall and just keep those consistent plans going for that long?
Magic. Or a scroll.
They were very organized.
The Great Wall of China doesn't make sense to me. How do they know that they started building it?
They had a lot of slaves.
But it's how do they know that they started building it for certain reasons 2,500 years ago? There's no way they're able to pass on like accurate information for that long.
I mean, you can sort of like carbon date.
Maybe it was more like Oh yeah, my father worked on the wall, and his father worked on the Great Wall, and his father
Well, yeah,
worked on the
that
Great Wall,
that
and
did
I
happen,
walked
but
on the Great Wall.
yeah, but surely the reason for it would be lost over time.
Yeah, but can I say this though? How can you say that when we literally know the reason right now?
What's the
Yeah.
reason?
That
Rabbits.
to didn't you just say to keep? Didn't you just say to keep the
Well,
Mongolians out?
that's the reason I've heard, but that cannot be true because it's a terrible idea.
Well, it wasn't like a constant invasion, you know. It wasn't like the beach of Normandy or whatever, like trying
No,
to
but
storm the beach.
If we knew,
But it's
if
just
little-
like constant, like small incursions from like over the years
Yeah.
and stuff.
but if New Zealand
They just slowly built a
sent
massive.
over little, if New Zealand
Adam,
started sending over
Adam,
little
this is how I
bands-
feel when
Yeah.
this is how I feel when I try and end the show. You know when you're trying
Yeah.
you're trying to speak and you kept getting talked over.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I feel.
Well,
Welcome
just
to my
saying,
world.
If New Zealand were sending little groups of people over to invade Australia, and our plan was, okay, guys, this isn't good. So we're gonna spend the next 2,500 years building a wall around the country. That wouldn't work because they would just get in, and they 2,500 years time, they're not doing the same thing that they were doing. There's no way.
Well, maybe they were going to keep on having insurgents 3,000 years, but it stopped at 2,000 because they finally completed the wall.
But they didn't. There's no way it was the same thing happening.
You don't know that. You weren't there.
It's so.
And
that's
maybe
so-
and
so-
maybe it wasn't necessary to keep people out, but to keep the people in.
But again,
Maybe.
Yeah.
so they're only, but they aren't. But they aren't keeping them in.
Maybe you should ask someone that was a part of the building because I don't know if they've been going for 2,500 years.
No, it's done now. It's finished. It finished a while ago. It finished a few hundred years ago.
I don't know. I feel like maybe the original idea was to build like a big house and they were just done with the first wall.
I mean, anything's possible. I don't believe that they knew why they were building it about halfway through.
It also could have just been like the simplest solution to the simplest answer.
Well, I mean, it's like any great construction
No, there's
project.
no way.
It always starts off with a plan, and then that plan gets passed to the next supervisor.
Or
It
maybe
is, but at least you could sort of ask the original person. Imagine trying to know anything that happened 1,000 years ago. There's so much speculation we even have with our modern technology. How is a 1000 AD Chinese man supposed to know what was happening 1,000 years before? And yet he's still toiling away on the wall, knowing that it will never be done.
You still had archivists and stuff, like people that kept.
yeah, I'm
like,
sure there'd be records. I mean, Chinese people, like that was the whole culture as well. They'd write a lot of shit down.
I'm calling shenanigans on them having great records because they started building the Great Wall of China before they believed Buddha was around. Like, if they have such great archives, surely they can look and go, there was no Buddha. Like, there's no way that they have speculation on that, but know exactly what the wall was built for.
Because it would have been like some imperial decree, like from one of the emperors or something. It was like, hey, we gotta stop these incursions. Here's the plan. Get to it.
Build a wall.
Let's start building a wall. We'll be done. We'll be done in more time than we can comprehend as cavemen, basically.
When did they finish it? When was the Great Wall of China done? It was done. Man, we really should have done some kind of research because we
Nah,
just
it's
sound like
better
idiots.
to not do any research because then you just get to mindlessly speculate, and it's funner. I don't
Yeah,
want
but
to
could
know.
you imagine
I just want to question.
One day, someone's gonna listen to this and they're just gonna be like, "What the fuck are they talking about for 20 minutes?" Like they're just talking about.
I also
fucking
don't
nothing.
think it. I also don't think it would actually do that good of a job. Honestly, it's not that. It's not that tall.
It did
I mean,
need
they're probably
to be
taller
like,
than all the Mongolians.
taller. It did need to be taller because like the Mongolians were like horseback warriors and stuff.
Yeah, but they were when they started it. But like, let's say if we started building something now to protect from an enemy in 2,500 years, it would be useless because they would just have way
They were
better
keep,
tech.
all they were wanting to do was to keep the Mongolians out, which it achieved that goal.
Yeah.
The Mongolians are the worst invaders of all time. Then, if
No, they were on par with like Alexander the Great
Didn't
or
they
something.
have like
That's
half
what
the
I mean.
world?
But in the time that they built it took to build the Great Wall of China, there were so many world conquering like emperors that came through, and the wall wasn't done. So how
Yeah.
can these emperors build their entire empire, have it crumble, while they're still building their wall, and the Mongolians can't get in?
True.
'Cause once
Maybe we
it's
should
finished, though-
make a movie about it. We should make a movie about it where like each scene is just
There
a new
was-
generation of people.
There was. Matt Damon made a movie about it. Historical accurate.
Yeah.
True. Maybe Adam should make a movie about it without doing any research.
Yeah, I
saw,
Now, that'd be funny.
My entire speculation on the Great Wall, because I always just imagined them until it was finished. I just imagined the Mongolians going around it. Like,
I'm sure they
all I
were
can
like
constantly-
definitely like trying to like.
I'm sure
disrupt.
people did go around it.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
they built across? They built it like to the height that they wanted it, and then across, or do you think they built it upwards slowly?
I reckon they probably would have done like.
I'm
they
sure
would have
there's
built
history
it out
on
a
it.
bit, and then they like had some people further back just building it up.
No, I reckon they built it up, moved on, built it up, moved on.
Yeah, they would have done like sections.
They probably did.
So it
They
didn't
probably
work.
went. They probably
Well,
went
at
around
some
before it was
point-
finished
But
because it
the
took so
point
fucking long.
wasn't for it to work as they were building it, or else
So
They would have been
so they were
technological
"We need to
geniuses
stop
at the
them.
time."
I don't
We need
know.
to stop the Mongolians invading in 2,500 years' time. Don't worry, they won't bother until then. They won't. They
Yeah.
won't even try.
Look, man, I'm just gonna say it. You either think too much or not enough. That's your problem.
Here's my thing. What if? Do you think that you say that there's like in 2.5 years the Mongolians they're gonna they're gonna try and infiltrate in 2,500 years and we're not gonna let them? And do you think like on the other side the Mongolians are like, so here's the plan: in 2,500 years we're gonna try and invade them and they won't see it coming.
Yeah, I don't get what took it. I don't get how it kept any Mongolians out until it was done, and I don't know
Well, do
why
you-
they would start to do it and then take so
Hold
long.
on. Do you see any Mongolians in China?
Well, no,
Didn't
because
think
they've
so.
been
Didn't
because
fucking
they
think so.
probably invaded. They probably invaded
Great job.
Mic drop.
Good job, Great Wall.
1,000
Good job.
years in. But they probably invaded 1,000 years in while the wall was still being built, and now they're not Mongolian anymore. Now they're Chinese because they've been there that long.
Oh
I
shit!
I
Yeah.
think the people who finished the wall were probably descendants of the people designed to keep out originally.
If you do you think that the first generation of Chinese people that started building the wall looked dramatically more or less Mongolian than the people that finished the wall?
100, yes, 1,000%.
That's why you want them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really funny. That would be
I
really
don't-
funny.
I think that there's no way it worked for 2,000 years. It probably worked in the last little bit.
the first
they were
generation. Could you
doing
imagine that a first generation builder of the wall talks to a last generation builder of the wall, and they're like, the first generation is like, you look very Mongolian to me, and they're just like, Granddad, please, it's not what you think. I don't know if I can keep this in.
And who said that they finished it in 2,500 years? What if they finished it a lot sooner?
If the Mongolians hadn't gotten into China?
No, like, what if they finished the wall sooner than that?
But they didn't. It took them a long, long time.
Yeah, I think that's the whole reason why the Great Wall is such a weird thing, is because it took so long. Or do you think they finished it and they're like, we're not going to say we finished it yet because it's too early. We'll say we finished it a little later.
Yeah, maybe that was the thing that bait people into thinking that it's not finished. So they
They-
try to evade.
Yeah, they
Trap
tell the
them,
Mongolians,
kill
no,
them."
there's no wall. There's no wall
No.
at all. And then
We've-
it took
we
them
got-
2,500
maybe that was the
years
whole
to
thing.
Figure out.
We've still got
People
500
thought
years to build it. We've got 500
No,
years left. It's not
that's
done.
it.
500
We
years to
figured it
build
out.
it is still, by the way, drastically too long for it to be effective in any way.
Well, they also it wasn't like built like, they started at one end and just continuously built. It was like several sections went up at the same time.
Yeah.
But then
It's
they
like
just go
built-
through the sections that weren't there. That's
Well,
just-
it'd
Yeah,
be
but it
guarded,
also
my
minimized
guy.
the
They just-
open areas.
Be
you know?
patrolled and
I
guarded
just
and
imagine them.
stuff.
I just imagine them getting to the wall and then riding along it until they find a gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's so much
Or-
less area you have to defend.
Yeah, it's like channeling through to the hot gates.
Do you think they? But I'm imagining they built it from like the left to the right or the right to the left. So I'm imagining when they're like, 3.5 quarters done, and they're just like all the way to the left, do you think the Mongolians go to the right and just like break a hole in the right? They're not going to see it.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, they probably started a lot at different places. So they probably started like heaps of places throughout like the building process. So they had like they started at point A, B, C, and whatnot, and slowly joined them all together.
Well, here's why it's a bit silly to me. Another reason why, because
Really? Really? So this,
if they-
all the other reasons have got nothing to do, but this is the one.
no, this is another one. This is just another. They so if they'd started doing it, let's say 1,000 years ago, it would have still been an effective tactic against, the Mongolians of that time. But if they'd been 1,000 years in and we got into this time, it'd be completely useless. They just got lucky that civilization didn't evolve quick enough for it to be useless. Because right now, it's completely pointless. You can just fly a plane over it and drop a bomb. Like, it's lost its
We
use.
also have more modern defenses for that,
Yeah,
though.
they halted modern defenses and all offenses until the war was finished.
Until the war was done. That's what it just seems like. What a gutsy move to think this thing's still going to be useful in 2,500 years.
I think it's even better that there's
That's
like
ballsy.
the Germans were going to build the computer, and they were just like, no, we can't do it. We can't finish it yet. The Great War's not done.
Yeah, we have to wait for the Great Wall freedom. We have to give them
Yeah.
a bit of time to make them feel like it was worth it, and then
And then go.
we'll go.
Maybe the Mongolians are just being nice, and they're just like, we'll give them a bit. We'll give them a bit of time. Let them finish
It's
it.
like they go there, they see the first like scaffolding up, and they're like, "Oh god, we can't do it now. They just be too
Yeah.
mean. We got to let them finish."
But yeah, basically the Mongolians are just like an older brother watching the little brother play with Legos, and they're just like,
Yeah.
when that kid's done, I'm gonna kick it over.
Yeah, I'll wait for them to finish.
All right, and I think with that, I think we should end.
Oh my gosh.
Alex, cut that.
I will. Thank you everyone for listening to the main broadcast. I have been your host, Alex Rogers, and I have been with my associates, Adam, Peter, and Dan. Would
We have
you like
socials.
to say? Do we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah,
follow us on
you
it.
made them.
Oh no, I know I'm making a joke from the last episode. You
Oh.
dimwit. Please follow us on any of our socials: Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. And I have a
What are we
problem with our
called
TikTok.
on those ones?
Yeah, true. We are called the main cast TV on Instagram, on X, and on
No,
TikTok.
don't call it X. Call it Twitter.
What's X?
Jim,
Oh,
can I try
yeah,
this again?
always.
I'm going to try this again.
It's Twitter.
Thank you everyone for watching the main cast. Not watching. Fuck.
Listening.
Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for listening to the main broadcast. I have been your host, Alex Rogers, and I have been with my associates Peter, Adam, and Dan. Please follow us on any of our socials. It is the Maincast TV at Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
You can just put the link in the description.
I can put the link in the description, but they're not going to read the description. They're going to listen to me
Okay.
if they've
You
made
will
it this
listen to
far.
me, damn it.
That sounds just
Yeah.
kind of fool yourself.
Adam, do you have any quotes for the last line of the podcast?
We need another shirt idea.
We need another shirt idea.
Put another quote on the shirt.
Yeah, we need one more. Come on. Need another
I'm
one.
just thinking now. I'm still thinking about the Great Wall of China, and I'm on the mindset.
Oh, no.
Do we need?
There
do we
you
need
go.
someone
There
with
you
the-
go. I'm still thinking of the Great Wall of China. Put that on the shirt.
Do we need someone? We need someone with the dedication to their work of someone 1,000 years into the building of the Great Wall of China, where they know that they're never gonna see anyone near the end of it, and their progress isn't going to be noticed at all because it's been going on for 1,000 years already. But they still get up every day, they eat their rice, and then they go and they build.
Alright, and now, with
Right.
that wall of voice, we will turn that into a wall of text on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I reckon just it's the Great Wall of China, and it's just goes. I'm still thinking about the Great Wall of China.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
just,
But it's like-
just the Great Wall of China. Does it even make sense?
But they still put effort into it. Alright, that's inspirational on a whole new level. Alright, let's end this thing. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you ended it like that, not me.